Hello guys, welcome to this channel. Now this is going to be one of the fastest, shortest videos that you're going to watch on the S22 series. So specifically I'm here to convince you guys that Samsung have finally brought back the Note series. Yeah, of course. And they've not just brought it calling it a Note, they're calling it the S22 Ultra. Now looking at the renders of this phone, which was actually leaked by Samsung themselves, it's kind of weird that Samsung went to their website, official website, pulled down the Note series and managed actually to sell to us the Note, but in a different name, the S22 Ultra. Let's first look at what the Note was. This is how the Note generally looked. Look at the edges, look at the screen, look at the stylus that it got, look at the curved edges. Then we look at the S22 Ultra. The corners are actually sharp corners, just like the Note series, which they actually ended after the Note 20. Then we look at the curved edges of the screen. This is exactly a Note. Now the difference this time is that with the last S series that was released, the S21, with the Ultra actually also had a bump. There was a camera bump. Then this time round, the Ultra version of the S series, which is the S22 Ultra, does not have the camera bump. Now, this is exactly what the Note was, didn't have the camera bump. Now, it still got a P, which means that these guys only managed to change the edges of the S21 and call it the S22 Ultra. But this time round, they also gave us a stylus. That is the S Pen, and they've also kept it on the left side of the screen, where you will be able just to pull it out, and this time around it comes with just one color, which is black. Then use it on the screen. I generally do not understand why people would want to use a stylus on their screen of the phone. I understand why people would want to use it on a tablet, but I do not understand why they would use it on a phone. The screen is too small, although this one is 6.8 inches, but still too small, and a phone is meant for, just typing using your hand. There's some satisfaction to that. But then they gave us the S Pen, which is actually a unique thing about the Note series, which I am assuming they have totally discontinued by giving us the S22 Ultra. The theory I have as to why they have decided to give us the S22 Ultra, which is actually a Note, is that when they started releasing the S series got a lot of revenue to them, and also got a lot of popularity with the people compared to the Note, and they probably just decided, why don't we just discontinue the Note and focus mainly on the S series as our flagship phone. But then deep down they still wanted to give the Note because it's kind of something a bit different, because some other companies are also releasing the stylus with phones like the Motorola, but the major companies, which is the iPhone, the Samsung and the Xiaomi, they take a while for them to release a stylus with a phone. So this is something quite unique for them. And for Samsung to just let go of the stylus generally and the Note series will not have been easy for them, and they just decided, let's just trick them into buying the Note, but we call it an S series phone. Now, personally, I won't really get the S22 Ultra to use, because I never got the Note to use, and I generally never liked it. Even had a friend who had the Note, really praised the Note, but every time I would just tell him, I don't like the Note, I don't like how it's designed, I don't like the fact that it comes with a stylus, that's the pen. Although the specs of this phone are quite interesting. This phone comes with 108 wide camera, 10 megapixel and 12 megapixel, that's a quad camera, and a 40 megapixel selfie camera. The zooming ability of this phone is out of this world. It's actually been able to outdo the iPhone. I would really want to use it for about a month or a week, but considering it's still a Note, I won't want to use it as a primary phone. No, I really do not feel like I'm a Note person. I feel like the outlook of a Note, how the Note looks, the design of a Note, it's meant for corporate, probably a top management inside the office phone, for, let's say, just doodling stuff down and everything, but it's not a primary phone for me. it still comes with 5000 milliamperes battery, which is quite awesome. So if you use the screen at the highest possible display rate, you are likely going to use it just for 4-5 hours on screen use, which for a flagship phone I don't think it's that good. But then considering that they've been able to give such kind of screen, which is 120 Hz refresh rate, I think that is quite awesome. And Samsung have been able to give us, you know, repeatedly one of the best screens in the market, considering that I have been using a mid-range phone of Samsung and I can say the screen has been awesome. I can only imagine what the S22 Ultra, which is the Note, is able to do. So the Note S22 Ultra, of course, it's still coming with 8 Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, that is for the US and China, and Exynos 2200 for the rest of the world. It still comes with Android 12 One UI 4.1. That is the Android 12 version. So for those who want to get flagship phones and do not want to start at Android 11, kindly go for the S22 series, because all of them come with the Android 12. There's not really that big of a difference between the rest of the S22 series, that is S22, S22 Plus and S22 Ultra, when it comes to the platform and performance. The difference is with the RAM. So you get 8GB RAM when you're buying the 128GB version of the S22 Ultra, which is the Note. You get 12 megapixel of RAM when you're buying 256, also 12GB of RAM when you're buying 512, and also 12GB of RAM when you're buying terabyte version of this phone. The ability for them to give us a 1TB memory, awesome, because that means I will never, or anybody will really never want to like buy extra storage, that is an SD card, which of course they've not given us a slot for. They've also not given us a charger in the battery. I think the chargers are being outdated, but despite not having a charging adapter in the battery, they've been able to give us 45 watts fast charging. So with whichever adapter you get, but I would really recommend that you get the original Samsung adapter, which will go for about 5,000 Kenyan shillings. That is about $50 in the market. I would really suggest that you get the original one for you to be able to experience an awesome performance of this phone. But when it comes to reverse charging, it's only 4.5 watts of reverse charging, and you can also charge this phone wirelessly. So it's quite awesome, but I think Samsung should just call it a Note. They should have actually released the Samsung S22, Samsung S22 Plus, and the Note 22, probably call it the Note 22. Yeah, then give us something that looks similar to the S22 Pro and call it the S22 Ultra, because some of us are really big fans of the S22 Ultra but not big fans of the Note. But Samsung probably didn't want to lose the technology. They really spent a lot to develop for the Note series, and the market just decides, we do not like this kind of a phone, kindly give us a phone that looks like this, and they decide to just rename the Note to the S22 Ultra, and they are probably going to pull this one off depending on how many cells they make from the S22 Ultra. And they might decide that for every series they release of the S, they will give us one phone which is actually a Note. That is, make the edges curved of the screen, makes the corners also sharp, and give us a stylus. So I think they've been able to do this, and actually judging by the amount of traffic they're getting for the S22 Ultra, I think they managed to pull it off quite smoothly. But the camera bump was something unique. I think this phone, everybody who sees this phone is from a distance, they're going to just assume that this is a Note this person is using. So the selfie is still centrally centers above, just slightly above the screen. It really doesn't affect that much on the display. But the stylus is also quite really fast, and the design is also awesome. But the camera bump was necessary. The fact that they just slashed the camera bump from the S21 Ultra and made the corners a bit sharp and called it the S22 Ultra. That is something that really was probably worth it, because they really probably wanted to utilize the technology of the Note series. So this is the reason why I think this should actually have been called the Note 22, and it's actually a Note 22. That is my take on the S22 Ultra. Thank you so much, guys. Kindly like, subscribe, and comment here. Let me know what you think. Let's see each other on the next video. Nice week.